Kick it off.
Hello guys, welcome back to the Play On Podcast. Uh this is episode 101. And yeah, it's been an eventful week per se. A lot has happened. A lot is
A lot did happen, Jesse, and Real Madrid lost their leadership. They lost points. They dropped their points. Barcelona won their game with ease. We're on top of the Liga again.
yeah, it's crazy because if this would have happened midweek, Jerry would have been panicking.
What do you mean? What do you mean I would have been panicking? I don't even know. What are you talking about, dude? What does that even mean?
Yeah, it was a completely different tune earlier than happened this weekend.
Hey, man, you gotta just go. It's a weekly thing. It's a day-to-day thing. You gotta take it with stride. So it was fantastic being on top again. Real Madrid lost in a shocking manner, dude. I didn't watch the game. I was actually at a card show with the dude, and the dude caught the last bit of the game, and he texted me as soon as they got scored on. I was like, "There's no way." I'm like, I thought it was gonna be like an easy win, or like a given win, with everything going on.
Osasuna is always tough.
Hey, but Girona isn't. By the way, they just lost too, so. Yeah, you could beat one of the best teams in the league, and but you can't be like, who do they face? I'm gonna see it, and I'm just gonna be pissed again. I saw it earlier. They lost to Alaves. Oh no, they tied. So beat Barca, tie against Alaves. But yeah, I don't know if you want to go over the game real quick. What do you think went wrong?
For Madrid,
Yeah.
the Madrid game. A lot of things, a lot of players. I realized the sh decision making and the subs that he made. He started Asensio and Carvajal, and both were subpar. The whole backline really was bad, except for Carreras, which isn't saying much, but he just wasn't the weak point. It was Carreras, Alaba, Asensio, and Carvajal. It was like my nightmare.
That's the best lineup I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was tough. I understand why it happened because they're taking a precautious approach with Rudiger because they don't want him to play 2 games a week because he's still coming back from injury and they wanted to save him for the Benfica game. And then Howson picked up an injury, so he was unavailable and is still a question mark for the Benfica game. So this is the lineup they had to go to, and they also wanted to rest Trent, and because Carvajal was, saying that he wanted game time and needed game time, they finally gave it to him, and the man
Dropped a stinker, dude.
he got torched by our former academy product, Victor Munoz. He
Yeah.
literally had him the entire game cooked, like he was in a blender. He didn't know what to do with him. Valverde literally had to drive back and be a shield for him to just to cover for that. He was literally playing with like one man less, and yeah, it was horrendous. That was bad. Mbappe was also bad.
I
He
was gonna
didn't
say,
have.
don't forget Mbappe because I think Vinicius was telling him just run into the box, just run into the box.
Yeah, we had no box presence, which has always been known. And then this is also my a problem that I had with Arbeloa because he took out Valverde, which
Right.
was our one of our best, if not the best player that day, and he was the driving force of like the team at that point. So like when he subbed him out, it was almost GG's. Nothing's gonna
Hmm.
happen. But he subbed out Valverde, brought on Gonzalo Garcia, but then he didn't allow him to be a box presence, to be in the box and where he's best at and what we need, because that it helps widen up our offensive options.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why do you keep misusing him and like putting him out on the wings and like where he has no like he doesn't get to show off his best skill set and what we need from him. And it's just horrendous misused substitutes. Like it was just bad. And then the other substitute you put in Dani Ceballos, God,
Fantastic, dude. Last year he was kind of a no, not last year. I think it was like 2 years ago. He was a pretty good rotational piece, but this year he's like dropped in level, which you would assume due to like lack of game time. But he dropped the ball and he gave up the ball for the winning goal, right?
yeah, it was bad. And then but also Asensio was there, so
Don't forget Trent. He just forgot defending and just he assumed Asensio had it.
yeah, it was just horrendous. And then afterwards he picks up an injury and he's gonna be out for like 2 months.
Who, Asensio?
Ceballos.
Oh. Right, an injury. They injured him on purpose in the locker room after that because
Man,
yeah, they gave up a huge lead.
I'm pretty sure that would be me because yeah, man, it was just bad. It was bad substitutions, bad overall. Like the players were not there, and then
Hmm.
he keeps on misusing or like something. I don't know what's going on, but like ever since he's taken over, Guler has slowly his form has gone down. I don't know what's happening, but he's just not. We're not seeing what we've seen from him in the beginning of the season, and then even at the start of Arbeloa's tenure, where he was just basically carrying Real Madrid, especially like just giving out passes and assists and like being a creative outlet.
Yeah.
He slowly has lost that, and it's just I don't know what's happening.
Amen. I'll take it. I don't know, maybe playing out of position. Do you think that'll be a reason? But I don't know. I think Guler has been pretty good all majority of the season. Maybe he just had a bad game, but he is definitely the focal point. But it doesn't help when Vinicius and Mbappe are literally playing the same side. And that's the viral clip going around right now. It was Guler telling Mbappe to get out of the way because he was in Vinicius's wing.
Yeah, and then it sucks because he's the only offensive like I said creativity hub because behind them is just Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and Valverde,
Hmm.
and sure they can have their moments, but they're not the a reliable outlet to have to play off of. Like sure they'll like I said they'll have moments, but that you can't expect that every game or like every
Hmm.
moment of a game. So it's like it's tough on him because all the burden lies with him to
Yeah,
create something, and then it doesn't help when you have two guys that just don't work together in Vinicius and Mbappe. Yeah, it's just tough.
yeah. So they dropped points on Saturday. Barca played Sunday morning if you're in the United States. And yeah, they just took care of business. Again, I think I was telling my brother it's just been too many games away from home, and Barca is
No,
current
no, the biggest thing is Bernal finally played,
that too.
and
I
it,
was gonna get to that, but we're a fortress at home. We are 12-0 in La Liga at home. Real Madrid doesn't have a bad record either. They are 11-1. They only have one loss. But yeah, Bernal finally got to play, Jesse.
yeah, it's
Finally. Like I think Casado is kind of cut off at this point, and it's not going to be considered a starter when we need like to do rotations for Pedri or Frankie or when either of them are injured. But yeah, I was texting my brother during the game and just telling him like, hey, like this is the first game where we're not just getting constantly cooked in the counter attack because he's covering spaces. It's not a super offensive lineup because what I told him is that Frankie de Jong is the DM, but he works better as a DM with a second DM next to him.
he can't handle being the
Hmm.
sole one. He needs
Yeah.
someone alongside him. But I also think Bernal is one of the few players you guys have that can do that by himself, even if it was needed to. Like, sure, if Frankie wasn't there, he could handle those DM duties by himself. And that's why I've been saying, I'm like, it's so surprising that Hansi Flick hasn't had any trust with him at all and sort of like let him ride the bench for so long, especially with the what I consider and then like a worse option in Casado, who especially this year, like granted last year he had like a coming out like a breakthrough and was like playing good, but
Yeah.
this year he's fallen off a cliff and hasn't looked like that at all.
Yeah, he's falling off a cliff. And then also like the lineup he was trying to like experiment with Frankie being the sole DM and then having Fermin and
Dani Olmo.
Danny Olmo playing the center mid position. It's not possible. They're both of those midfielders are too attack
Up,
minded
yeah.
and they don't really get too many interceptions compared to like Pedri. He gets a lot of interceptions. I think last year he was the number one in interceptions for La Liga. So yeah, Bernal just solved a lot of those issues, and he's also a good like box presence because he knows that he could push into the box. I think people always say he's a more of a Sergio Busquets, but no, I think he's more of a Rodri.
Well, yeah, because I remember because uh as you and I both know, I like to follow like Real Madrid Castilla, like La Fabrica and like all these things, and especially when they go against like other teams. So like I follow like the young player movements or like how they go to see who's gonna be the upcoming talent. And I've like heard about Bernal, but he was originally more of a box to box type,
Hmm.
and it's more of recently that he started to play as a DM, so he's had that tendency. And then I saw a stat afterwards after this goal on Sunday that he has like insane goal ratio at Barcelona, co coming down from like when he was like 8 years old to now, where it's like he has like 200 something goals and 263 appearances for Barca. So like he knows how to score a goal even as a
Yeah.
midfielder.
That's great to go around because again, we're at a point where we can't trust our striker at the moment. Lewandowski, he's definitely slowing down a lot. His age is showing, and then Ferran is going back to Ferran things. We've talked about this multiple times, but yeah, we definitely do need that, and we need the goals to be spread out elsewhere, especially with Lamine too. He didn't have the best game. I know he is starting his Ramadan, so maybe that affected him because it just started, but. We'll see how it progresses.
Yeah, but I'm still surprised uh with where is it? Ronnie getting as much game time.
Me too. Trust me, I think I'm a huge fan of him. I think he brings a lot of revolution, but I think in this one he didn't want to risk it and he saw Madrid drop points. He's like, well, I just got to go with a strong 11, secure those points, and maybe next time I could rotate. Plus,
I
with everything going on, I think they don't have games in midweek this week, so it's again more rest for Lamine and he could obviously uh relax a little bit. Because
yeah,
I think that's when the next week, I don't know if there's games in midweek.
but even I think it might be the is it the return leg with the Athletic Madrid or is that the week after?
Oh, that is the return leg. I forgot March 3rd, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
March 3rd.
what I'm even more surprised is basically Marcus Rashford being completely frozen out.
No, he's not frozen out. He has an injury still.
He was on the bench.
Well, that's why he still has an injury. They don't want to risk him. He's coming back. Because I think Edu was telling me that Edu follows a lot of the what is it, the after matches or whatever, like the pre-match and everything. He had a knee brace on.
Oh.
So yeah, he was probably available, but again, they don't want to risk him. Because in my opinion, I think he should start and maybe even playing striker at this point.
Hmm.
But
But
yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway I had from this, besides Bernal starting and looking great, is Cancelo starting at left back.
Oh yeah. And after Hansi Flick called him out saying he wasn't impressed by his two past performances, and he comes out and probably plays the what, what is it, the best left back of the season for Barca this season because Balde hasn't been at his best.
Yeah, because like we said, those the fullback position has been or like a trouble spot for Barcelona this year. At first, a lot of the criticism was going towards Jules Koundé, but like recently, people have finally started seeing that Balde has been having a bad year as well,
Hmm.
and like criticism's finally falling on him. And I think that's what the signing of Cancelo was to like help shore up that spot. And I think he sh like current run of form, I think he's gonna get all the starting opportunities he can because Balde just hasn't doesn't seem as like we've seen before. He just seems like I don't know if it's like an injury or what, but he just looks like a step slow in processing what's going on and like
Yeah.
athletically too.
Yeah, I agree. And I think with the this past performance of Cancelo, I think he should definitely start left back next week against Villarreal. Just to, again, maybe more rest for Balde. Like you said, it might be an injury or just fatigue. But again, he hasn't been playing well. So if it's not that, I think at this point, Cancelo, after that performance, he deserved it because I think he almost had a hat trick of assists. He could have easily had a hat trick of assists.
Yeah, and especially because last year the backup option was Gerard Martin, but he's basically become a center back option now. So he hasn't had the opportunity to play left back
Yeah.
because he's required or like he's needed at the center back position. So there hasn't really been like a real cover option for Balde this year. Because
And
you guys
that's,
also
go ahead.
sold who was the other one that you guys had? Because last year you guys had two left back options. Who was the other one? Because you sold him,
Um,
I think to Como.
uh,
Reyes? That
yeah, it was Steas. He was a Barca B, and everyone was saying that he should start, but he ended up getting sold out. Same thing. They had Hector Fort. He was playing both positions.
yeah.
But my biggest criticism of Valde is that he cannot cross a ball. Like he just absolutely sucks at crossing. Like you can see all his games, he has great take-ons, but when it comes to giving the final ball for the assist, he can't do that. And Cancelo's proved that he can, and he's always done it his whole career. And now Gerard Martin, in my opinion, his passing is very underrated. And I think he plays better left back at this point in time than Balde, even though he doesn't have the opportunity to play too much. But yeah, thankfully it was an easy win. They cruised and they had the whole match under control. Like I said, Bernal just brought up a lot of balance into that midfield and a lot of security as well.
Yeah, then we also saw a brief cameo of Pedri, which is,
Yeah, he was very rusty though.
but that's just what you want for him to like, because
Hmm.
the game was basically over by that point. You just want him to get some, help him get back into rhythm.
Even then, I told my brother, I'm like, I wish they didn't start on that like for that long because I think he had 25 minutes. I wish it was just like 10, just to again lower the risk of injury. Because again, I'm scared for him to get injured again. Because like you saw, he's a very vital piece, and
Yeah.
we struggle without him. Again, you said it too.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's La Liga for us. Atletico Madrid won their game too, and Lookman just keeps scoring goals for them.
Yeah, he's sort of like we said, Athletic Madrid always seem to have a talisman for them, and it looks like he's going to be that talisman for them right now with Julian Alvarez struggling to score goals, and especially with all the rumors surrounding him of him wanting to leave.
Hmm.
So it looks like they already have someone capable of stepping up if needed to, especially with like Griezmann still having some magic, but he's also on the older side, so I wouldn't be surprised for him to, leave at some point pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely. So I think he's currently in talks with MLS team. I forgot which one. I think it might be Charlotte FC. I literally just saw it before I hopped on. But yeah, he's always rumored to go to the MLS, so it's bound to happen. But on to the boring league, the Premier League. That's actually pretty. It's been pretty interesting. Arsenal dropped points midweek. Um, and Man City gained ground on them.
Well, they're still one game behind,
Hmm.
because remember they have the final coming up of the what is it? It's not the FA Cup, it's the other
The
one.
Carabao.
I don't know if it's still called that, but yeah, they have that final coming up, and basically, Arsenal were able to reschedule their match for their upcoming one, the Wolves one, midweek, and Man City unfortunately weren't because they're playing against Crystal Palace,
Hmm.
and because Crystal Palace is in Europa League or the Conference League, they weren't able to reschedule. So basically, Arsenal gained the advantage in that basically they're gonna be more fresher for that final
Yeah,
because they're gonna be able to play. Man City's gonna play midweek, and basically they can play like 3 days in a row, or like in that week three times because they'll play like what Saturday, then Tuesday, and then that Saturday in the final or Sunday.
yeah, they're facing Newcastle again too in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
So they got FA Cup the 7th of March, then the 14th they get West Ham. That's a whole 7 days. No, they pretty much get 8 days. So the 28th they are playing on Wednesday
because
then this week.
because
They're playing
because
Leeds
because they still haven't scheduled the match. I think
for what the EFL Cup? I think yeah, it is the 22nd of March.
no, not the FA Cup, the remake of the Crystal Palace match.
Oh yeah, I still see it here. They still have a question mark. So yeah, you're right. They probably are gonna do that.
Yeah,
Tough break, dude. Hey, but if anything, it bit Arsenal in the ass because they lost. Well, they tied again. Yeah, they lost against Wolves, right?
no, they drew two
They
two,
drew. Right.
and then they the before that they drew with Brentford 1-1. So they
So,
were dropping points,
but yeah, Man City, I need you guys to pull through. You guys are 5 points with the game in hand, and we'll see.
and
Yeah,
they still play Arsenal at home. So that's gonna be a big match.
because they have two. They have to beat them in the EFL Cup. Because if you know if Arsenal wins the EFL Cup, it is chalk, Jesse. They're gonna
Uh,
treat that like a Premier League. Don't. That's what I'm saying. Like for us, like Man City wins it, no one cares, right? EFL Cup. But Arsenal fans,
yeah, but they're delusional either way. But they have to win. But I think if they lose to or if Man City beats Arsenal at home, I think the league's done because I think mentally they're already broken. Because after the draw, you even watch the past couple games with the draw with Brentford and the draw with Wolfsburg, they're losing their minds. They don't know what to do. They don't have the mentality because they were like
yeah.
having a breakdown because they were trying to fight after the Wolves draw.
Yeah, the Gabriel Jesus thing. Yeah. There were just so many things going on. Yeah, they're clearly not in a good spot. So if they drop more points, but they have a tough match against Chelsea next week. So I need Chelsea to pull through. I know Chelsea's been like in a not so good place at the moment. Two draws in a row in the Premier League, so pull through,
Yeah,
please.
with Rossoneri, the record's not bad. They haven't like necessarily like I know he hasn't the only loss he has is the one against Arsenal. Besides that, he hasn't lost. But it's just the inconsistency we see with the Chelsea team. And again, they're a young team, but like you can't keep using that young excuse for forever. Like
You can.
you gotta mature at some point. Like they beat Wolves and then they draw against Leeds and then they beat Hull City, or is it Hull? Yeah,
Yeah, it was the
Hull.
FA Cup.
And then they draw to Burnley. And then Burnley is in the relegation zone. I think they're 19th. So like
The
you
Leeds
they sh
game, they were also up 2-0.
yeah, so like they should be winning this. Yeah, I think I saw a stat that said Chelsea's a team that's dropped the most points from winning positions this year. And I think it was like 17 or 19 points that they've dropped from winning positions. So if they literally continue with those, like got those points, I think they'd be in first place right now in the table. So they would be in this title fight, but because they dropped them, they're like in fifth right now.
Yeah, maybe they shouldn't have fired their manager mid-season over a disagreement. But yeah, they could have been in better positions. Right now, they're currently in fifth. Man U, again, they won again. They're making great strides.
Yeah, Sesko, another goal. I think
Hmm
this is like three goals in the last four games, and
hmm
none of them he started. He's been that super sub for them.
And all too, like going back to Arsenal, Eze, he only scores against Tottenham. Other than that, he has not been scoring, from
Well,
what I know of like the Premier League.
I saw that he before this Spurs match, he hadn't had a shot on target since against Spurs, and that was when did they play? Go like 15 weeks ago because they played like in
Yeah,
November.
it was last year.
It was like November or something, so it was
Hmm
like 15 weeks or like 15 matches, I guess, in the Premier League.
Well, he has 6 goals. That was the hat trick against Spurs, the double against Spurs.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. But
So that's insane, especially from your big summer signing because they paid 70 million for him, gave him the number 10 shirt.
yeah, it's just looking to be big on him, dude. And Gyökeres too. He actually had a good game yesterday. He had a great strike. And I didn't catch the last goal because I changed the channel already. I was like, this game's over, and I started actually cleaning my condo. So I didn't get to see the last goal, but they got their dub against. I think Spurs started off pretty well at first,
No.
defensively at first, because they even responded well when they conceded the goal, but that was just Kolo Muani. But even then, we're having a whole conversation before this. We started recording, but we're just saying how Tottenham is in a weird spot. Players coming out anonymously saying that Thomas Frank is a small coach. They don't want to train for him, and yeah, they just don't have no cohesion and everything. The locker room is kind of broken at this point.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of problems with the players and the coach. A lot of players, even like incoming transfers. Like I know there was a broken relationship between him and Xavi Simmons. Matthias Tell did not have the best relationship with him. A lot of players have like it's been publicly known that just don't mess with him.
Hmm
And apparently a lot of it comes down from like how he handled the players and also a big thing that talking point was that he was constantly mentioning Arsenal as like a comparison and saying like we should be more like Arsenal, like we should use them as a prototype to model ourselves after and things like that, which is a horrible thing to do to be like, oh yeah, we should be like our biggest rival and like compare them to them. It's like that's the quickest way to lose your team.
It definitely is. It definitely is. But I don't know. He's out. Tudor. We said that we don't think he's gonna be the big replacement for the team. It's gonna turn the squad around.
Hmm
I think Tottenham should press the panic button because I think they could possibly get into relegation, at least the playoff match. But Jesse
I,
doesn't think so.
I don't think there's a playoff match. That's the
Have you
championship.
finished?
Championship.
Oh, What am I thinking of? Because I know and there's a league. If you finish like penultimate and the one before penultimate, you face the first and second place of the
I think
second
it
division. Is that Germany?
I think it might be Germany. We mentioned that beforehand.
Yeah.
It's not England.
Okay, so it's not England. So I don't know. I think there is a panic that Spurs fans should start feeling. Jesse thinks otherwise though, but
Yeah, I don't think it's I'm not saying it's because just because of Spurs. I'm saying because of the other situation that's happening around them. Because they're currently 16th. Below them is Nottingham Forest, which I think is a bigger mess overall because of how their owner has treated the club this year. Because they're currently on their fourth manager, which is insane. Like insane, unstable locker room for them to have, especially the season they had beforehand or like the year before, where they're like competing for top four, finished like sixth or seventh, and then even like I just think that's a mess. And then West Ham this year have been, I think, bad. They have a recent upturn in form because uh who was it? Who the new manager is? I can't remember.
Espiritu Santo.
Yeah, Nuno Espirito Santo. Because this is also what like their third coach could or second coach because at first they had Graham Potter and then they fired him.
Didn't they have Daichi, whatever it is?
Deitch, was it Deitch? I can't remember. But yeah, I just think those two are I see less from them, and I think overall talent wise, and like if Spurs could get their injured players back because they are currently in an injury crisis, I think that should be enough to keep them about. That's why I don't think it's too much of a worry, but who knows? It could get worse for them because it is Spurs.
Yeah, it is Spurs. Not great season, new coach, no direction. Again, I think Poch said that they're a small club. They have a small club mentality, trying to disguise themselves as a big club.
And
Ange, not Poch. Ange. So we'll see. Postecoglou, there you go. So we'll see what happens. Again, still a decent amount of games left in the season, about like 11.
a third, basically, almost.
Hmm. We'll see how it goes. Oh, Jesse, you had your two favorite teams from Italy face each other this past week.
Who?
Como and Juventus.
I wouldn't say my two favorite.
Uh,
I also like Fiorentina, remember? La
yeah.
Viola. Even though they're struggling. They recently got out of relegation. They won this past weekend. So they're up to 16th. Hey, don't think I don't think I'm gonna leave you Fiorentina fans like that. All right? I'm still with you. I know what's happening.
But yeah, Juventus has not had a great week. Well, we'll transition this into the Champions League talk now. Juventus midweek they faced Galatasaray down. What was it? Were they down first or did they score first? I can't remember.
I think they were I can't remember. I think they were down and then up 2-1 and then they were like then 5-2,
Oh my
if I
God.
remember correctly.
I'm trying to like find this. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. 15 Sara scored at 15, then Coop Miners at 16 and then they 32. So they were up uh 2-1 and then it was all Galatasaray after that.
Yeah, they got the red card and yeah, the red card seems to be their downfall. I don't think they're in a good mind state right now because of the whole thing that happened with Inter. Then you have this happening with Galatasaray. Then you have then you lose against
Como.
Como in the weekend. So I think this leg honestly might be done for Juventus. I think they're getting eliminated. I don't see them coming back against the Galatasaray, especially with a striker like Osimhen. Even though he didn't score, he was just a huge presence and was stealing away possession away from Juventus.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the lows of the Juventus because the 2010s was all them in Serie A and like the pinnacle of Italian football.
Yeah.
And I think we're just seeing the downfall of them because they just don't seem to know what they're doing with the squad. They're selling so much young talent. They're selling so many players that you're surprised that they're like getting rid of, and then they're like not getting the replacements for them. And if they do, they just don't seem to work out. Because you would have thought they would have gotten harder for Colomwani, especially after what he showed last year.
Hmm.
Because I think during the Galatasaray game, they basically had Weston McKennie being a nine for them,
Yeah.
and you're like, why? Like
And then you have players like Openda who he gets himself in great positions, but he just doesn't have the end product to get the goal. The same thing
yeah,
with what's his name? Davies, the Canadian? No, not Davies. Jonathan David.
Jonathan David.
He hasn't been a great player, which we thought he was, but no, it doesn't seem like it's working out. And on top of that, I would like to add the goalkeeper. I don't think the goalkeeper they have is what they need, like a world-class keeper. So they have a lot of holes to fill. We'll just see what comes out of that. What's your prediction though for
For
that
the
game?
Champions League.
Yeah,
I still think Galatasaray, even though I think Galatasaray was at home, so they that's a massive edge. Like that's an atmosphere, like a real one, not like the ones that Premier League fans talk about. You know, that actually affects the game. But yeah, I even if they go to Juventus, I still don't see them overturning it. If it happens, great football. As a neutral standpoint, I'd love to see it, but I just don't see it happening from this team, especially the way the current form and like how they look currently. They just don't seem like it. Like even a title challenge doesn't seem like it. They're trying to compete to basically get Champions League for next year.
yeah, definitely. So we'll see what happens. They have to climb a huge mountain. Um, Next match is AS Monaco versus PSG. This was surprising because Monaco went up 2-0.
Yeah, Monaco came out and hit them in the mouth, and it looked like they were gonna. It was gonna stay like that until I think Dembele got injured and basically Dua came in and he basically changed the game and was basically man of the match. He was outstanding for them and like completely took over.
Yeah, he did. So honestly, I think me and you both didn't think Monaco had a chance going into the
N-
game, but I think they showed a lot. But now they got to go to the Parc des Princes and try to climb again another mountain. Because let's be honest, what's it called? PSG is such a such a great squad. This could easily be the Champions League winners again. Because I could think they were kind of in a similar position like last year, right? They had to go their fight their way through the what is it, the league standings or whatever. They didn't have a great showing. Went through playoffs. They won. Now they will go in through. If they go in through the knockout stages, it's gonna be very interesting. Again, I don't think any team wants to come across them. I'm Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona fan, and we have a possibility of coming across them, and I'd just rather not face them.
I don't know. I still feel the difference between I feel about PSG is because of the goalkeeper situation. I don't feel like they have that rock like before with, Donnarumma. Sure, he might not be like the best passing goalkeeper out there, but what I want from my goalkeeper is a shot stopper. And Donnarumma is like one of the best at that. And I think last year with that game against Liverpool, he showed that he could affect the game. And I've seen that like year in, year out with Courtois, like that can definitely affect like the mentality of the strikers of the opposing team of like we just can't score against them. And I feel like this year with getting rid of Donnarumma, like his replacement Chevalier that they got hasn't worked out and sort of has seemingly been dropped from the squad by Luis Enrique and the backup Safanov has been inserted, and he doesn't give that same like overall presence that they've had with Donnarumma.
Yeah,
So that's where I would be like the weak point for PSG.
yeah, definitely the goalkeeper. I think their backline is probably fullbacks is obviously probably one of the best duos in the world at the moment. Center backs, I think again, Marquinhos, I think he could easily just handle both. Pacho's been pretty solid, so I'd rather just not face this team at all. I'd rather
Hmm.
have someone else knock them out. I don't want to knock them out because it's definitely a slugfest.
Yeah, because it's either PSG or Newcastle.
I'd rather have Newcastle. Give me Newcastle. But who do you have coming out on top, Jesse? PSG or Monaco?
I'll still give it PSG. They just have so much overall mentality, and as we see, any one of their players can just turn it on one day and just completely take over the game. If it's not do it, Kvaratskhelia can. We know he can do it,
Yeah,
and then
they
similar
still have
with like
Barcola.
yeah, they still have Barcola who his finishing is iffy, but you know he'll create chances,
Yeah.
and then that midfield's still insane.
Now we have a Borussia Dortmund versus Atalanta. Dortmund won the game 2-0. Now they got to go to Italy and try to finish this off. And in my opinion, I don't think this is a contest anymore. Again, they lost Lookman. They're not going to do anything.
I don't know because as we've seen from Dortmund, they really do rely a lot on their home form, especially to that yellow wall to carry them. Like even this match, I think the best player for Dortmund was Koval because he did stop a lot.
Hmm.
Uh, so I still think Atalanta can go. Like I said, 2 goals is one of those things that it's not a good lead to have because 1 goal changes like 1 goal and you're basically right there and it changes the whole mentality of the game.
I could see that, but again, I don't think Atalanta has too much to go forward with. I don't know because they don't even have the Cataler, whatever his name is. So yeah, I don't know what the team is doing. I don't think they have enough talent to go through. But
Well, we'll see. We differ in that. We differ.
we definitely do. Carabao versus Newcastle. I think this
This
game is
one's
done.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Newcastle.
and
They went
especially with
away,
Newcastle.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, especially Newcastle's second leg at home and they're already 6-1 up. I think it's over.
Then the biggest
Eh,
surprise, Bodo Glimt versus Inter.
Yeah, everyone thought it was game over. No one really expected this. I think the odds would have been like 99.9 to like 1.
I beg to differ, Jesse. I did say Bodo Glimt had a chance because they gave Barcelona a run for their money. Well, not Barcelona. I can't remember if it was them, but they gave a bunch of teams a run for their money. I think they're the ones that beat Man City. Narrowly lost to Juventus, but they had just a great campaign in the first league playoff, whatever, of the Champions League. I think they're a dark horse. Are they going to win it? Probably not. But I think they're going to knock out Inter Milan, even if they play in the San Siro. Just a good team, dude.
Yeah,
Who's
I think it was really surprising, really good. Uh, I'd still go with Inter.
Inter also has Dumfries out and Hakan Çalhanoğlu. I don't know how long he's out for though, but two major pieces, and then for some reason they are not playing. What's his name? Uh, Turan. He didn't start
Oh,
that match.
it's because Esposito. He's been amazing. He's a young Italian striker. He's really good.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing that game, Jesse.
He
I,
scored a goal.
I'm surprised. Granted, he is doing good, but I think Inter do better when they have that dynamic duo of Lautaro and Thuram. They just connect that so well on the pitch because it reminds me of the Lautaro and what's his name, Lukaku. They just both feed off each other and two very different strikers. But I have Bodo Glimt going to the next round, Jesse.
Yeah, I'd say Inter. I'll stick with it.
Olympiacos, Leverkusen. Leverkusen won in Greece. Leverkusen slowly has been having a decent campaign, both league and Champions League. I think they win in the second leg as well.
Yeah.
Lastly, Jesse, we last two. Atletico Madrid versus Club Brugge. Atletico Madrid let go of a lead as well for this match. And now they got to face them at home, which this season they do have a great home record, but I think anything can happen.
Yeah, and we've seen Club Brugge actually uh, bring it to like teams in the Champions League. They've had who was it? Who did they draw against?
They play Barcelona and they tied against them.
Yeah, they like Club Brugge is nothing to sniff at or laugh at because they know how they'll bring it to you. They're not afraid to go for it. They play like they have nothing to lose, especially this because they were down 2-0 to Atletico Madrid and then they pulled it back. I want to say level, and then Atletico Madrid scored again, and then Club Brugge responded. So
No, they were down 2-0 at the half, and then Club
yeah,
Brugge
yeah,
scored two, own goal, Club Brugge ties.
yeah, yeah. I think is- isn't that what I said?
No, you said they went back and forth.
Isn't that kind of going back and forth, going down 2-0, then responding with two, and then
No, you said Atletico scored, then Club Brugge scored, then Atletico scored.
uh,
Yeah, you're good. Nothing. Either way, it's still the same scoreline, 3-3. Um, but I don't know what kind of Atletico Madrid's gonna come out because this time he used Julian Alvarez, who again got on the score sheet but hasn't been scoring too much this season. Um, Played Molina at right back. Llorente, he's still playing him as a center mid, so he took him off that right back spot until he had a sub on Molina, and then he had to put him back in there. I don't know what's gonna happen with this team. I wouldn't want to bet it at all because the outcome could be insane. And I think again, this is just me being Atletico Madrid hater because just because they destroyed us. I think Bruges could win it. And I'm gonna pick them.
Ah, there's nothing more that I would like to see, but in the unlikely event that they get knocked out, because if say Barca avoids PSG in the next round, they get Newcastle, and in that bracket, the next game would be Atletico Madrid, and just having that happen again would be I would love that. So I want them to win just because
Here-
of that.
Here's my prediction. Ready? Club Brugge beat Atletico Madrid Champions League. Atletico Madrid gets knocked out of Champions League. Real Oviedo beats Atletico Madrid in La Liga. Barcelona make a comeback in the Copa del Rey and knock out Atletico Madrid.
Well,
Simeone gets fired.
that's a lot of hoping right there, Jerry.
Again, that's just my prediction. What do you think he'll get fired after if all the things I just mentioned happen? Those three results.
Yeah, because that'd be pretty bad, especially the comeback that Barca would need to be able to make that happen. I think so because he is under hot water because it's not like the same management that Athletic Madrid has been. It's new management. They want to be competing with the Real Madrid and Barca instead of being a two heads at the table. They want to make it three, and currently they are not because I think there's in La Liga they're in fourth place. So like, and this is realistically the only titles that they can go for the Copa del Rey and Champions League. So I think, especially the way he's positioned for the Copa del Rey, I think he needs to win it for to things cool down because like remember he is the highest paid coach in the world and he has had a transfer budget to go with it to reflect that. So yeah, I think he needs to accomplish something. And if he gets knocked out in the Champions League and Copa del Rey, he's not playing for anything this year except like play spoiler. And I don't think the new management at Atletico Madrid will allow that to happen.
No, they won't. And it'll be interesting to see who they try to sign in the summer. If all this happens, Simeone gets fired. If it doesn't happen during this 3 game stretch in the summer, he does get fired. If he does, um,
If he
it'll
does,
be
I think
interesting.
a prime candidate would be Unai Emery.
Yeah, I could see it. It's a pretty good shout. Even the Bournemouth coach on top of that, I think he's
Raul, yeah,
yeah,
because he
he's an
because he
interesting choice.
because he came from La Liga, and even here he was. I remember playing against him, and he sets up his team well, and it's like always tough against his teams.
And again, it looks like a team that wants to play offensive football, and that's what he kind of plays. Same thing with Emery. Um, Again, it'll be interesting. But that's my crazy prediction that's gonna happen.
Yeah, the comeback is
The
basically what you
copium,
really
the
this is what
copium.
you really want.
That is a they didn't score five, so we could probably score five on them.
They didn't score
Especially with our
five.
with our best home record, Jesse. We have a great home record.
The man said
Keep
they
in mind,
didn't score
Ferran Torres
five.
has been missing a bunch of chances against Atletico Madrid. He's gonna score.
They didn't score
Hat
five.
trick. Hat trick.
Yeah, but that defense is so shaky at best.
Not well, Pedri's back. Bernal, he's been being plugged in.
Yeah, but if Pedri's back, Bernal's not starting.
We'll see. I know and that's why like Pedri back, Bernal could do it if again Pedri's not up to fitness. We'll see. We'll talk in and what was it next week? In 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll talk in 2 weeks. See if
What
my
if
prediction came true.
what if they just beat you 3-0?
We just talk about the episode. There's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
But surely last but not least, Real Madrid versus Benfica, the biggest game of I think this playoff round. There's been a lot of drama with Prestiani, with Real Madrid, and it looks like Prestiani is not going to play this match because they're doing an investigation still.
Uh, yeah, they gave him a provisional ban of one match ban. I think they did it that just to sort of lower it. because if you guys don't know, if you already, because it was like the biggest thing in the like football world for like this past week, and I think everyone literally talked about it. It was a match. It was Benfica versus Real Madrid. Benfica was at home in the match. Vinicius scored, and then afterwards, Bresciani allegedly came in and then said racist slurs to him, and basically that was the end of the match, really, because after that there was nothing really too much that happened afterwards. But that was the big incident. There was a stoppage time of I want to say 10 to 15 minutes where they were deciding if the game was going to continue. Ultimately continued. But yeah, that was the biggest talking point of how what Bresciani said, and then also of how Mourinho handled it. He's been called out a lot by former players and coaches of how he's handled it because he has basically redirected. He's been trying to redirect the attention of like the racist incident by saying, "Oh, Benfica as a club can't be racist because our biggest legend is Eusebio and he was black." So basically saying I can't be racist because I have a black friend. And then after also he also said that Vinicius deserved it because he antagonized the crowd. So he just basically didn't get any fans, especially coming from him because he has been known to antagonize crowds, clubs. It's like literally him against Barca he was the biggest antagonist in the world. So it's rich coming from him and like it made no sense really because I understand that he was trying to defend his player, but he literally took the worst possible action. And then yeah, saying that they can't be racist because Eusebio was black is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, so that's currently under investigation. I think right now it's they're investigating over anti what is it, gay? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
homosexual slurs.
yeah, because Bresciani, his defense saying that I didn't say anything racist was because I called him a homophobic slur. And he also the biggest thing is that no one can tell what he said because he went and covered his mouth like this to say it. So
Yeah, and on top of that, more drama, and which didn't make Benfica fans too happy. Um, it seems that Valverde struck one of the Benfica players, I think it was the left back, in the face, and they were all calling the ref to give him a red card. That didn't happen. They asked FIFA to investigate, the UEFA to investigate, and UEFA determined like, no, there was nothing sanctionable, which it's a whole nother argument. I think it was sanctionable because I think it was a clear strike to the face. He wasn't looking at the ball. He was looking at the player, but nothing's gonna happen. But if they are gonna do um homophobic anti-homophobic slurs for Cristiani, they have to look into Vinicius and Mbappe for the exact same thing. Would they? Probably not.
Vinicius.
Yeah. Apparently he was also yelling at that out. Because in Mexico, I don't want to say because I don't want to get it strike. PUTO, the things Mexican fans scream whenever the goal is taken by an opposition team. They deem that as a homophobic slur, which, and again, in our opinion, it's not. It's being misconstrued. And Vinicius has said that to Cristiani. It's on video, same thing with Mbappe, but I don't think anything's gonna happen off of it. In my opinion, he definitely said something, and I think he's guilty of it. It just sucks that they can't prove it because again, he covered his mouth.
Yeah.
So I think this match is going to be cinema. I think it's going to be with Real Madrid being up 1-0. I think it's going to be a very hard and a lot of stops and a lot of yellow cards in this match. I think there'll be a red card too.
Yeah, well, it's also because this wasn't the only thing that happened because there's also clear evidence of the fans at Benfica being racist. There was
Yeah,
two, I think, where is it, youth players or like kids?
it was just kids,
Clearly,
but I'm not sure if they were youth players.
yeah, I think it was somewhere was someone mentioned youth kids or youth team players, but it could have just been regular like fans. But they were clearly doing monkey signs,
They should be
and then
banned forever.
there was also a recorded of a man higher up in the stands also calling racist remarks. And then, not to mention that after the game, it's alleged that Benfica have come out and released a statement immediately afterwards that it didn't happen, but the CBS, where is it, the Champions League show, caught their president, Rui Costa, going down into the tunnel and fighting around Madrid staff because he was trying to get in the locker room, and same with other like Benfica people.
Yeah, so this match is gonna be cinema. A lot of cards. Bet the over on the cards if you can bet that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Jesse, who do you have winning?
Okay. Isn't it obvious?
Who do I have winning? I think with everything going on, I think Real Madrid's gonna win just because I think Benfica is not gonna be level-headed. And that's my thing. I think Benfica is gonna be playing a different match and it's gonna be um more fouling than actually playing and scoring. So and again,
Well,
Prestiani was probably the biggest threat to Real Madrid.
also there's been reports of like infighting between Benfica because one of their players, South American, what is it, Rios? I think he's
Richard
Colombian.
Rios. Yeah, he's
He po
Colombian.
he posted a picture of him and Vinny with no caption and show of like support, reportedly of support, saying that he sides with Vinny on this instead of his teammate Prestiani.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think Benfica's shocked after that on this match. I don't think they have much to give. I think they checked themselves out. Cristiani doing what he did checked out his whole team rather than the Real Madrid team. So yeah, I think Real Madrid wins like probably 3-0.
Yeah. And then also Jose Mourinho is also not going to be there.
He's
Well,
not.
not in the coach's box. He might be, somewhere else, but even that might be another distraction for the team because if he is, he will be getting because of those remarks, I think he will be like a target for the fans as well. So could just be another distraction for the team.
That it will be. But that's it for Champions Leagues. Um, I'm looking throughout the weekend to see if there's any special match. I think Liverpool West Ham is pretty interesting just because of the implication for West Ham possibly going down to the second division. Jesse, who do you have?
Liverpool.
I have a draw.
Yeah,
Um,
we've recently started to see Wirtz pick up his form and starting to look like the player that he was about to be. So I expect that to continue.
Leeds versus Man City. This is the Leeds team that took points away from Man City as well for like the beginning well, the first half of
Well,
the season, right?
they took points away from Man City, Liverpool, I think Chelsea as well. This is a tough Leeds team to go against. So, and plus they're playing at home, so I don't think it's gonna be an easy game at all. But for the title race, I want Man City to win.
Yeah, I think Man City's winning. I think they've been getting more rest since they're not playing playoffs or Champions League other matches, and they've been kind of finding their unit in a consistent starting 11. So I think Man City takes this. Mm, in Spain, it's Barcelona versus Villarreal. Give me Barcelona. We are 12-0. We're going to be 13-0 at
Give
home.
me Villarreal. Give me Villarreal.
Real Oviedo, Athletic Madrid already said what's going to happen. I don't think you really want to comment it on it, but you could give your guess.
Atletico Madrid. Jerry's thing is just outlandish.
And Bundesliga, we actually have their Klassiker.
Yeah, Dortmund at home against Bayern Munich should be a good game. It always is.
Give me Bayern.
Up- yeah, give me Bayern.
Give me Bayern. Dortmund's playing that Champions League match. It's going to be too many tired legs.
Plus, Bayern has really good,
Harry
is
Kane's
in
been
really
on
good form.
fire.
Their players are in really good form. Their front three is in great form. Musiala starting to come back, and plus they still have like Carl coming off the bench, who I think scored out this weekend, so he's starting to get back his form. And then they still have Bischoff, who I really like. I think he's a good player.
For sure. Do you see anything in Serie A? I kind of skipped over because I didn't see anything that stood out to me.
No, I saw Lecce Como, nothing great. Hellas Verona, Napoli, Inter, Genoa. Not, nah,
Oh,
nothing
okay.
that.
Sunday, what do you see?
Fulham, Spurs for the relegation battle that you said. You said Fulham is in what is it, top table or mid table? So you would go Fulham.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going Fulham. Tottenham's is in shambles. Give me Fulham.
I think it's a draw.
And Raul Jimenez is in hot form right now, Jesse. He scored two this past weekend on top of that. So
Yes, give me a draw.
Manchester United versus Crystal Palace.
Mm.
I'll just go with the hot hand with Man U. They're playing at home on top of that.
Yeah, you know what? Go at home. I think they're gonna win four more in a row, and then they're gonna lose a fifth again.
I think they're doing that on purpose. Arsenal versus Chelsea, probably the biggest match in the Premier League at the moment. So many implications, and I think Arsenal lose.
Chelsea, Yair.
They don't have to win, Jesse. They just got to get a tie.
No, they're gonna win. I need you to call up your boys, call up Chelsea, call up your team, and let get their head straight. I need them to get their get back against Arsenal and win. Because the first game they played better and they deserved to win. And this time they're gonna get that win. I don't care if you play worse, I don't care what you have to do, but you're gonna get that win. You got me, Chelsea.
Lock in. Oh, okay. Serie A, we have a great matchup in Roma versus Juventus. I think this is 4 versus 5 in the
Yep.
title, well, in the standings.
Yeah,
Oh,
and especially with Juventus
3 and 5.
in horrible form, they're gonna need that.
Yeah, it's 3 and 5. Roma's in third, Juventus in fifth. They are steering away from Champions League spots. And they could dig themselves a hole. So I am going with Roma. They've been playing all right. Um, they're not consistent either, but I'll give it to the home side.
You know, Yildiz has been getting a lot of flack recently for his performances, has been not the best, but I think he makes it up this time and gets him a win. I'll back my boy.
Hey, they're bound to get back, right?
They have to, right? They have to. It's math, right?
Definitely. When does Real Madrid play?
Monday,
They play Monday?
Getafe,
Just
because
gotta
of the
bless with the
midweek.
schedule.
We played midweek.
Okay, that's your own doing.
Okay. You play midweek too.
Yeah, we do. We play on the third. Is that
Exactly.
Monday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So
I don't, yeah, Tuesday. You guys
they
play
should have
Tuesday.
given us the Friday match then.
Sounds like a personal problem.
But yeah, Real Madrid, we'll do it because a title race and everything.
Home against Getafe.
Give me a draw. That Getafe back line is going to be horrible for you guys. That 11 in the back is just going to cause pain and misery. They're going to tie 0-0.
We win. We win. We win.
All right, guys, that's all we have. Is there anything else you want to add?
Max Crosby, man. I just want to put this out there, man. I think you look great in blue and orange. I think you were meant to be a Chicago Bear. I think you should, you know, pull some strings and come here. You want to win a championship. I know you do. And I think you could do it at the Bears, man. Listen, this you and this defense, man, it's like a puzzle piece. You guys fit perfectly together, man. Just think about it, just putting it out there.
Just think about it. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Jesse and Jerry, episode 101. Peace. I didn't know what else to
Peace.
say.